So many people ask, how do I find my purpose? How do I say my dream out loud? And then how do I interpret all of the signs of whether or not I should move forward with my dream or not? And I think that that is a really interesting topic. How do I manifest my dream? I think the first thing is like, I'm Greg Vetter. This is the extension podcast off of the field guide. So we had a lot of wonderful feedback on me going through the field guide, a lot of additional questions that I did not bring up in the field guide. So we decided to take the podcast and expand on it and discuss people's random questions, general topics, interesting insights into random things that I find worth talking about. And so this is part one of part two of a podcast of me talking about random shit. So many people ask, how do I find my purpose? How do I say my dream out loud? And then how do I interpret all of the signs of whether or not I should move forward with my dream or not? Right? Whether it's a business plan, whether it's whatever, who knows? So, the first question was, and I get this all of the time, but it's like, how do I manifest a dream? And I think that that is a really interesting topic in terms of everybody has these goals. Everybody has these dreams about business. I mean, every speaking engagement, everybody comes up to me right after and go, well, I got this idea.
My mom's hot sauce,
or a new platform for this, or, there's this recipe from the country I'm from and it's the biggest thing ever. And I think the United States would love it. How do I bring that to fruition? How do I bring it to life? And so I give people a lot of different explanations and recommendations. Some are book recommendations. Some are daily habits or practices that they can do or implement so that, the dream potentially comes to a reality or it doesn't. And I think, how do I manifest my dream? I think the first thing is you have to say it out loud, because I get lost in my head, and I think everybody does. And if you don't say your dream out loud or the idea out loud, and you're not brave enough to battle test it with even the people closest to you, how the fuck are you going to ever do anything with anything? So the first thing's, all right, you got a dream, say it out loud. Say it out loud to yourself. Write it down. Write your business plan down. Before I started Tessie Mays, I thought I wanted to start an insurance brokerage because I just was obsessed with making money. And I calculated my commission structure, and I'm like, well, if I start my own, I'll make 70% more, and I'll make $1 million my first year, and that's all that matters. So then I sat down to write a business plan, and the marketing side came up of how am I going to market this? How am I going to grow this? How am I going to differentiate myself? And it was just that flashing cursor, and it just stared at me. And it was like, I don't know. Who the fuck cares about insurance? Not me. I'm only doing this because I want to make money. That's it. And so I sat there, and for 2 days, this cursor is just flashing at me. I have not written a single sentence. I don't have a single idea outside of cold calling my ass off and, going to networking events and begging people to give me their broker of record contracts. And I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to sell insurance for my whole life. And that's when I knew That was kind of phase 2 of manifesting my dream. I had said it out loud. Genevieve hated it. I didn't care. Then I went to write a business plan. Nothing. So it was interesting because the action required to take the next step, the universe was like, nah, bro, you're not going to do this. You don't want to do it. So that was an interesting first step, which was actually taking action to put this dream or plan into place. And then this goes back to my other belief now of if it's meant to be, it's just going to flow. You know, when Mo and I are designing brands or packaging for something, it either happens or it doesn't happen. And that's how we know whether or not it's going to come to life or not come to life. Because it's like Pemberton Provisions. How many fucking packaging iterations did we do?
All that work. That was a month.
That was a month.
Of work.
And nothing ever came of it.
I thought we had some good ones, but Greg was like, nah.
No. It just... We were going to do basically clean kind of bento box snacks that, you know, they just never came to life. It was just a waste of fucking energy. So we just go, fuck this. You know, we spent hours and thousands of dollars on it and it just never came. And it was like, okay, we're not doing it. But I think that's the most interesting part is it's this contract with the universe. Are you willing to commit to it to get an answer, whether or not the answer is right or wrong? And that's the interesting thing about manifesting a dream. If you've never done it before, you think it's going to be quick. You think you're going to come up with it. Now, you will get some initial indicators that it's great. You know, we're working with that one drink company right now. Trademark's awesome. Packaging's pretty good for his first time. He gave it to some random people that gave him feedback that it was awesome. And then he took it to actual drink connoisseurs and they're like, it tastes like shit. So he sends it to me. I try it. It's fucking horrible. It's confusing. It's horrible. And I called him. I'm like, dude, this sucks. Why are you in this niche of a niche of a niche with a brand and a trademark that's so cool? And he was like, well, I just thought it'd be easier because it'd be so differentiated and be so, you know, I could go in with something so unique. I'm like, it's so unique, it's confusing. So again, shout out to Richie Pettibone, appeal to the masses, dine with the classes. You've got to have something that's easy to understand and digest for the most part. And again, his dream, a lot of wins in the beginning, massive detour, and now he's lost, trying to figure out a way forward. We're going to help him go forward, hopefully. And then we'll see what comes of it. But I think what happens with so many people is they're not willing to commit the money. They're not willing to commit the time. And then once, or if they've committed the money and the time, if they have a green hat avocado oil moment where it's like nothing's happening, it's not working, they're not willing to look at it with clean eyeballs to go, all right, this sucks. I need to get something that's actually going to work. And so instead of having that slight pivot of I need a packaging change, I need a name change, or I need a formula change, they go, nope, I'm right. I'm going to hammer down. I'm going to keep pressing forward no matter what. And they're setting themselves up for failure. So it does take a lot of courage to sit there and go, this sucks. I need help. What I'm currently doing isn't working. I need to go find some experts to help me. And, you know, I think that's why 29 out of 30 consumer packaged good brands fail, is because you got so much money tied into it. Are you willing to change it for the future progress of the brand along your journey. I mean, we had to do that with Tessie Mays when we reformulated everything. I was always in pursuit of the answers to the test. Just tell me what packaging is best. Just tell me what marketing strategy is best. Just tell me what formula is best. I want that answer. I want to implement that answer. And then I want all of the success that comes from implementing that. I do not want you telling me, oh, this is kind of good. The first golf lesson I ever got, and I don't play golf, this was 10 years ago. I'm hitting this ball for the first time, and it is just woof, going right every time. And the guy's like, wow, that's a great swing. Oh, man, you're really looking good. And I go, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? I don't know anything about golf, but I know the ball's supposed to go straight. What am I doing wrong that's making the ball go to the right? He goes, well, usually people don't want that type of feedback. I go, I told you ahead of time, I do want it. He goes, oh, well, you got to change this, change this, change this, and then just start going straight. And I go, that is how I operate. I do not want you fluffing my nuts. I'm not here for my self-esteem. I'm here to hit a ball straight. That's it. And I think with a lot of people, they're mortgaging their homes. They're leveraging everything they own. They don't want to be paying a consultant $500 an hour, $1,000 an hour to tell them that, oh gosh, I really kind of like this. And maybe if you do a slight tweak here, it may work, so that they can line their pockets. I want the fucking answer. What am I doing wrong? How can I fix it? How can I implement it as fast as possible so that I'm never in this situation ever again? And you have to do that by finding people that will be radically transparent and ruthless with you. And most people are not going to do that. And so it's one of those things where I always envision this like color wheel, and I've got people in every color who have a completely different view of the world. And when I really need an interest, when I can't figure something out, I'll reach out to each one of those people. They'll give me a completely different point of view. That helps me basically triangulate the right answer. And then I also get a bunch of different perspectives in the process. But in the grand scheme of my life, I wish I just had someone that was like, yo, dog, this is stupid. This packaging sucks. This idea is dumb. This can't scale. Nobody wants to buy this. That, in my opinion, would have saved me millions of dollars, thousands of hours. And I'm doing this podcast and I wrote this book and I'm helping people because I don't see anybody helping people like that. Everybody wants to sell you a fucking program or like watch 37 hours of my videos for some process that doesn't make any sense. I consider myself a relatively smart person, and I am a student of the game, and I know I don't know shit about shit. So when someone sends me a video, I don't go, that dude's a dumbass. I watch the video. I go, what can I learn from this? And so much of the time I'm like, that seems like it's like a quick quip. It's a great little marketing video thumbnail where it's like the 4 blah, blah, blahs of blah, blah, blah. And you're like, I would love to know what those are. I don't know. And then you watch it and you're like, bitch. Like, okay, that's a great fucking keynote at a marketing conference somewhere, or people get excited about quick quips and little taglines and all that wonderful shit. Where are the answers? That is what I want to know. What supplements do I need to take every day to be in my most optimal state? What time do I need to wake up for real? What do I need to do in the morning to get my brain in its most optimal state? Because my only job is to make good decisions. And, you know, everybody's out for, I guess, clicks and views now. So even if there is a right way, you got 500 people that are talking shit about the right way, so that there's a counterpoint to the right way, so that then you watch their video on the right way, and now you're just totally fucking confused. It's like nutrition. Okay. Is it vegan? Is it paleo? Is it carnivore? Is it macros? Is it fasting? Is it not fasting? Is it keto? Granted, it's probably something unique for every person, but I've done all of them, every single one, and only one of them has worked sustainably. Everything will work for 2 weeks because it's interesting and unique and your brain is shifting and you're trying to figure out something new. What is sustainable? What are the answers? Give them to me. What works over time? And I think another interesting thing that I've noticed recently is like all of these thought leaders don't have kids. You ever notice that? And they're real quick to be like, yeah, man, morning routine doesn't matter. The world was built on dudes that smoke cigarettes and drink coffee. I'm like, you got to get your kids to school, bitch? And they're like, oh, no, I don't have kids. It's like, then shut the fuck up. Oh, no, I don't have kids either. I'm just out here giving, recommendations. I'm like, shut the fuck up. A lot of this shit, I'm like, I listen to it. I'm like, yeah, man, if I had an extra 10 hours a day where I wasn't trying to keep my children alive, yeah, I could not have a morning routine too. I could put more deep thought into that quote. But I want the answers of, I have a family. I want to maintain my health, right? Like I got short windows of time to find my most optimal self. What's going to help me? What's going to fuck me over? That's all I want to know. What's going to help me launch my business? What's going to make my business fail? That's all I want to know, right? I got married young, met Genevieve in college, had kids young, had my first kid when I was 25, have 4 kids. They're all that's right in the world. You think you know, or you think you have the answers. You think you know stuff. And then that fucking kid comes out and you realize you don't know anything. And I use love as the greatest example. It's like, oh yeah, I've had these girlfriends and I've loved them. I love my wife. It's like, have a fucking daughter and then call me. You have a fucking daughter and you're like, oh shit, I know what love is. Like to the most extreme level imaginable. And I joke with my wife, Genevieve, all the time. It's like, I love you a lot. But those kids, like I really fucking love them. And, it's one of those crazy things where you think you know what work is until you've got to go feed your kids. You think you know what doing the right thing is until your actions haunt your fucking dreams because of the potential future consequences that it has on your kids. Everything you think you know, you don't know until you have kids. Common sense is uncommon. So let's use our vodka brand. I don't know anything about the alcohol business at all. But in its most fundamental level, you want to sell something that somebody wants to buy, to consume. And so I just took this approach of, how do we get people to want to consume our product? Regardless of the regulations, we'll hire a lawyer for that. We'll have an alcohol consultant for that. But how can we create the easiest path for someone to consume a product that we are creating? I think the biggest problem I see with people is they go first to the consultant. Tell me how you launched Corona Light. Tell me how you launched High Noon. Tell me how you launched Four Loko. I don't want to know that. Just like when we're doing design work, you don't ask me anything and I don't show you anything. I'll give you an idea. I see just naturally what comes up. Then if it sucks, we go a different route. But if it's great, we go that route. And so for product launches, I use common sense first. Then I obviously use my experience from convincing people to buy salad dressing and other products. And we take it until someone tells me, no, that's illegal, or you're going to jail, or you can't fucking do that. And then even when they say that, I go, what part of that's illegal? Or what part of that can't I do and why? Well, that's not how it's done. Okay, well, I don't care about that. Can you do this? Because this is done in wine. Oh, yeah, you can do that. So I can do it. Well, yeah, but you didn't ask that. It's like, well, you just said I couldn't do it. So I take a very commonsensical approach of what is possible in the world and can I apply it to this product? And then I'm just a stubborn asshole until someone tells me, no, that is completely impossible. There's no way this could ever happen. So that's how I think through problems, which is just like, well, what's the easiest answer? What answer has the most common sense in it? Which one makes the most sense? And then I just attack that over and over and over and over again until I get the answer that I want. Thanks for listening to my insights and random bullshit on the Greg Vetter podcast. We will be back next week with more business, family, human optimization, and random insights to random nonsense. I look forward to seeing you then.